Welcome to Small Arms Solutions. Since I started this channel, I've had a lot of requests to review a Noveske rifle. And up until SHOT Show this year, I had very much difficulty obtaining one. My first introduction to Noveske was probably 2016. I did an armorer's course out here in Nacogdoches at CSAT. And the Sheriff's Department, Montgomery County Sheriff's Department here in Texas, they came and they brought their Noveske rifles. And looking at those rifles, the quality of those was what I had heard. I read just as much as anybody else does on quality, but for me, generally, I don't talk about anything unless I've had it in my hands and I've had a personal experience with it. But that was the first time I had seen the Noveske rifles. They were 10.5-inch carbines, I believe they were. They were very, very high quality rifles. And I was very anxious to get my hands on one, but I hadn't had much luck getting a hold of anybody in their marketing department. However, at SHOT Show this year, I was able to get with Noveske. Met a very nice individual there, and she's been able to get me these rifles. So what we have here is the 13.7 Gen 3 Infidel rifle. We also will be doing a video on one of their 308s as well, but this one's going to be on the Infidel rifle. This is one of their more modern rifles. It's one that's available through their site that you can buy. And just like the ones I saw earlier on, the quality is impeccable. The quality, the machining, the fit and finish, everything is really, really gorgeous on it. The action on this one is smooth as hell. When you pull this bolt carrier back, it's like it's on ball bearings. As I said, the fit and finish, the way the parts fit together and work together are beautiful. So we're going to go through this thing from muzzle to butt this time. We're going to start in the front here. The muzzle device on here is what they call the KX5 Flaming Pig. Now, this is a very interesting muzzle device because what its purpose is two. One is flash, and two, it directs all the blast forward. So anybody who's on the side of you is not going to get any blast. And also on the shorter barrel rifles, this particular barrel is 13.7. This is pinned on to the end here, just to make it the legal 16 inches. But the Flaming Pig, when you shoot it, it directs all gas forward, and you can definitely feel that. And flame also, not so much on the 13 barrels, but once you get down to the 8.5 or the 10.5 inch, you see a really big muzzle flash. And the reason you see that is because it's unburnt propellant. If you look at a 5.56 millimeter cartridge, it's designed for a rifle with a full-length rifle gas system. So your powder should be all burned up for the most part by the time the bullet enters the atmosphere. When you have those shorter barrels, that doesn't happen. What happens is you have the bullet coming out and you still have all that unburned powder at the end, which is where you get that big muzzle flash from. And the shorter barrel you get, the worse it gets because the less powder is getting burned. So this does an excellent job of virtually eliminating flash in the dark. It does an excellent, excellent job of that. And the shorter barrels you get, the more muzzle blast you get too, or as far as noise. And the people around you are getting the kickback on the right and the left-hand side. By just directing everything forward, it makes it much, much better. There's two versions of this. I believe it's the KX3, which is a larger diameter. And the problem with that larger diameter was most of the handguards that were out there, it wouldn't fit under. The KX5 greatly reduced the diameter, so it would go under most of your handguards, as you can see, is under these handguards. And if it was any bigger, it would not have fit on here. Again, it's pinned in place for legality. You have a 13.5-inch barrel. This is actually a polygon type rifle barrel. Really, the only company who's ever done this is H&K with their HK93 and their HK53, which was their 5.56 variations. Those had it. Now, back in those days, nobody really ever copied it because they were saying that the way the polygon barrel worked, it didn't work as well with the small calibers. Once you got below 308, it wasn't very effective. So these guys definitely did something to perfect that process because this rifle shot sub-MOA without too much issue at all. I probably got between, I would probably say 1 MOA and maybe 1.5 MOA with Black Hills Mark 262 ammunition. It's a shorter barrel, so it's a heck of a lot harder for it to do it. But the accuracy of this rifle was impeccable with this barrel. You have also a carbine-length gas system. The gas block is a low-profile gas block made by Noveske as well. And to my very much pleasure, it was pinned in place. Now, this is something that we discuss a lot. For those of you guys who haven't seen my videos, I'll say it again. One of the biggest problems with the gas blocks that are held on with screws or set screws is with excessive firing or with heavy firing, it will eventually migrate its way forward to the point where you'll start getting short stroking, and then eventually your gas will get cut off all the way. With a lot of these precision rifles, it's not seen as much because it's not getting a really, really high rate of fire. But if you were to put any of those type upper receivers on a full auto lower, you'll start seeing that problem pretty directly. By drilling and pinning the front sight base or the lower or the gas block in place, you are ensuring that thing will never move. For a combat rifle, that is combat reliability, in my opinion. I personally would not want to take any kind of a rifle with a set screwed in gas block as a battle rifle. I just don't trust them. I've had too many of these rifles of all different manufacturers when they've been placed on full auto lower receivers migrate forward. I don't trust them. I'm sure there's those of you guys who will disagree with me. Perhaps you had better luck than I had, but for me, this is literally a must. The barrel is stainless steel. It's a 1 7-inch twist. Heavy barrel, so it's designed for accuracy. The handguard you see on here is another Noveske product. It is a full length. This particular one is key mod. They also offer M-lock. The handguard is the RS-15. Again, it's full key mod. The handguard is Type 3 coat anodized, and it's also Cerakoted to give it a beautiful finish. You have a full length 1913 rail on top. Going over to the upper receiver. This is billet. It's 7075-6T aircraft aluminum. Now, you do have feed ramps on here, M4 type feed ramps on the barrel extension and the upper receiver. We do have a forward assist assembly. We do have a lower receiver here, which is also 7075 T6 aircraft. The trigger is an ALG Defense trigger. It's their model ACT. It breaks just around 7 pounds. Just about 7 pounds on I have free weight scales. I don't have the digital or the pull ones. Mine are military free weight scales. So it broke at 7 pounds for me. The receiver extension is a mil spec. The stock we have on here is a Magpul. It's the Magpul STR stock. And another thing that was really great about this rifle was the fact that it had the Mayat pistol grip, which is my favorite of all time. It just fits my big hands perfectly. Now the receiver extension is staked in place with the end plate. It's staked in two positions. You see we have the M-bus rear sight on the back, another beautiful sight. You do have 2 apertures, a short range and a standard, and you also have a windage knob on the right-hand side as well. Charging handle is a Noveske Mark Geisley super badass charging handle. As you can see, the latches on here are oversized. They're much easier to get. You also notice you have a lip up here to assist you with suppressed use, and this is very easy to grasp. The bolt carrier group is a standard mil-spec bolt carrier group. The bolt is magnetic particle inspected, which ensures against stress fractures. Basically, what magnetic particle inspection means is you have a 70,000 psi proof cartridge, which your average 5.56 is 52,000 psi, 55,000 psi. So it's a significantly overpressure. And then once the barrel, because the barrels are done as well, once the barrel and the bolts are tested with that proof cartridge, they're both sent to a station where they magnetize the components and they put a oil that has a little shavings of metal. And if there's any fractures in that metal, all those shavings will go towards that and it will reveal that. So that way you can get rid of a part that's defective immediately without having to worry about it coming back to you. That's a military grade process, which you have right there. You do have a rubber O-ring on here as well for the extractor. So it's a basic bolt carrier group. Now, the optic that I chose to put on here is an optic. I use these things quite a bit. They're not a lot of money. They're usually only around $200, $250 in that area right there. It's a Bushnell AR optic. This is a 9x32 optic. It's a 1-inch on an Aero Precision aluminum mount. It's got good fine adjustments. The lens is very good quality, especially for what you're paying for it. It's a very good quality, and it does quite well out to 100 yards. It does come with a 30-round Magpul magazine as well. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this into the range. We're going to see how it shoots. This rifle lived totally up to its reputation. Again, I was just around an inch, maybe a little bit more on a couple groups, but for as far as the quality for a 13.7-inch barrel, it was absolutely incredible. Reliability was 100%. My accuracy ammunition, again, was the Black Hills Mark 262 Mod 1. I also had some XM193 Federal that I shot through it. I also had some SIG 69 grain open tip match. All the ammunition shot quite well, but the Black Hills Mark 262 certainly gave us the best groups. They definitely live up to their reputation. You know, they're expensive. This thing retails for $2,595.99. Now, what you're getting here is a custom rifle. These parts are manufactured by Noveske. This is not an assembly house like a lot of companies where they just buy parts from everybody and throw them together. This is one of those rifles that's built in-house, that Noveske maintains all the specifications, all the quality control to make sure that you have a rifle that is as smooth and as well fit and finished as this one is. And that's really a difference between some of these high-end guns versus some of the mid-level guns. You know, your higher-end guns, the parts are made in-house because they control everything, such as LMT, such as Noveske, you know, such as, well, hell, even like DPMS, Core 15, a lot of these companies who build their own components versus other companies who get parts from other companies and throw everything together and then hope they work. By maintaining all the parts, you can ensure that this rifle is going to work properly. So the price tag is not so far out of whack as you would think because it's so expensive. There is a reason why you do pay for that. But I'm looking very much forward to reviewing the 308 rifle, which has got some pretty interesting features on it. And hopefully we'll have that to you within a few weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like, please subscribe, and even better, share. Thank you.